In this video, I'll be sharing with you my list for the Blue Crocodile leader in the OP04 format. In total, there will be 3 lists. One will be for the top 8 in the Malaysia Championship qualifier. Next will be for the Singapore Championship, which I dropped out last weekend. And lastly will be the flagship event, which got me 5th place. Firstly, I want to make a shout out to the brains behind the deck and also thank him. He is none other than Gavin from Macaroni Station. He is one of the hosts for the Japanese side of One Piece TCG, a genuinely nice, humble and generous person. We went back and forth for weeks between discussions, playtestings and advice, tested different variations of the Blue Crocodile, which I will share with you later on. Although he doesn't compete in big events, he really knows his One Piece TCG theory. So drop him a follow on Twitter. I've linked his Twitter in the description. Before I start the first list, I will just share some of this deck's good and bad matchups. The deck's first matchup is against yellow decks, Katakuri and Big Mom, as well as Ace. The only way you can win yellow is if they break or only manage to play one 10-cost Big Mom down. As for Ace, it is winnable, but it's tough and highly dependent on you winning the dice roll. Goes the same for yellow decks as well. You want to go second against yellow and you want to go first for any other matchups other than yellow and black. This deck also struggles against the Zoro build that runs 4-5 Fist, 4 Marco and 4 Gordon, basically removals. Aside to this specific Zoro build, this Blue Croc goes even or better against any Zoro builds. Other than the previously mentioned decks, Blue Crocodile goes 50-50 or better against the meta. Best matchup being against Rebecca and Whitebeard. Only time I've lost against Rebecca and Whitebeard is when I break. So here's my Malaysia Championship list, which got me top 8. In this list, we decided not to run Miss All Sunday, as the idea was we didn't really need more than 4 copies of each event. Hancock is there for me to not only flex the alternate art but serve as a draw engine and blocker. This deck relies on the Animal Kingdom Pirates engine. The ulti and Dragon Twister is a really strong card, and which, as you can see, helped me win my top 16 match against Law. This list is also running 8 2k counter, which on paper doesn't feel enough, but it's just right as you have the Dragon Twister event. I really like this list because it feels consistent. That 2 Perona is also a flex slot. Initially it was a blocker Law and then it was a 6 cost Law. At the end of the day, it's up to your preference. If you prefer more consistency, I would go with Perona. Also because Perona has a counter and can be reused later on if you drop your 10 cost Kaido down. Next would be the Singapore Championship list. This list was built to somewhat increase the chances of winning against yellow deck. Gavin came up with a list, but I decided to change some cards from the deck. The Alvida here is truly an MVP, especially going against green-purple Doffy, as well as yellow decks where you can just bounce their Sparrow and Nami on curve. I ran the 2 7-cost Doffy with the purpose of countering the Dressrosa Luffy because I expected a lot more showings for Rebecca because it did win back-to-back championships in Japan. But overall the event, maybe it was my randomization technique or my haki wasn't strong enough. Out of my 5 games, I break 4 times and eventually dropped out with a score of 2-3, losing 3 matches to the decks that are supposedly my best matchups, which are Rob Lucci, Rebecca and Whitebeard. Losing every dice roll didn't help too. I liked the deck here, but it didn't like me. So moving on to the third list, finally here's my flagship list, which got me 5th place. I decided to run the list that Gavin initially proposed for the Singapore Championship, and this time round I included the 2 6-cost Law at an additional Sogeking and reducing the 3000 worlds to 3 copies. I truly underestimated the power of 6-cost Law. You need to know the right moment to drop Law down, and if you are too greedy it might cost you the game. So here are my matchups. As you can see, I faced 3 of my bad matchups and managed to win 2 out of the 3. Alvida helped with the Katakuri matchup a lot, as well as Miss All Sunday, which helped against all the matchups, which as you can see, both Zoros I won because of Miss All Sunday, allowing me to recycle my Dragon Twister. And then against Ace, it helps me recover my Dragon Twister once again for that additional defense plus 4000. So eventually I went 4-1, which got me 5th place and a Kobe. The Zoro decks I played against were the Winnie Zoro variant, so it was a fairly easy matchup as I managed to draw into my Miss All Sunday, Dragon Twister, Ulti and 6 cost Law. These are the only cards that you want to see going up against Zoro. So these are the 3 Crocodile lists that I ran for this season. I honestly like the final list and the list that was initially proposed for the Singapore Championship, and right now I'm regretting a little for not taking this list for the event. I could have done better, but there you go. This video is not an in-depth guide on how to pilot the deck. If you are interested in that, I will open a Q&A for channel members only. I can teach you and provide more detailed way of playing the Blue Crocodile along with the matchups and tags. So right now it's time for me to retire Blue Crocodile and move on to something else. I'm tired of losing against yellow. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give this video a like, drop a comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'm also on Twitter where I cover more One Piece TCG stuff from Asia like tournament results, deck lists and event coverage. You can also consider joining as a channel member too. And with that, as always, thank you for watching the videos. I'll see you in the next one.